Welcome everyone, welcome to week 2 of statistics, and I'm realizing this is coming out on a Wednesday rather than a Tuesday, so bear with me, but I think we can get off to a great start with week 2 even on a Wednesday. And I know some of you have already started on week 2, so great job on starting if you've already started. Week 2 is all about continuing our exploration of Excel and visualizing data. We're going to focus largely on quantitative data visualization this week as we look at box plots and scatter plots and regression. And so those are our main tools that we're going to look at this week. All right, so have your Excel tools at the ready, and if you run into questions as you are navigating Excel, please let me know. A couple things that I want to be sure to mention. I do have some announcements here, and I'll kind of go through them as we go through that course page for the week this week. So the first two we'll make sure to talk about. So there is a solutions for students folder and then exam 1. But let's look at the course page before we get into the announcement. So very similar format as last week. So first thing, instructional videos, right? So you have some videos to watch, notes to take, and then as soon as you're done with all that, make sure to do the video assignments. There's 2 this week, despite us covering 3 chapters. So get those in by Wednesday tonight at 11:59, and we should be good to go. All right. Then after that, last week we had a lab and we had an activity. Same thing this week. Okay. So you're going to have an activity and then an Excel lab to do. And then, I do mention the discussion boards. I have a comment about that. And then also new is I've been trying to figure out what might be the best way for students to access the solutions to the activities. And previously I had them drill into the different activities, look at the solutions there. And I'm like, well, that's kind of annoying. So what I'm going to do is Saturday every week or so, could be Sunday, I will plop in the solutions to the activities into this solutions for students folder. Okay, and so you just have to go in that folder and you can see all, if you click into it now, you should be able to see all the different solutions. Oh, that is not good. Okay, well, I need to fix that link apparently. But you should be able to go in that folder and access all the solutions for the activities. I'll make sure to fix that for you all here shortly. And then, so there's that. And then independent work, right? This time it's all in Achieve, right? So 3 assignments in Achieve to do by Monday next week. And then the last thing on our list is our first exam, yeah? So prepare for the first exam. It's going to be next Thursday, okay? Didn't want to put it on Friday because, sometimes people have Friday plans. And Thursday, just maybe get it done before the weekend. So what we're going to have on that first exam is just the chapters 1 through 4. So I know we had module 0 discussed in there too, and a lot of us had some confusion there. I get it. So we're not going to assess on that. Okay, we're just doing chapters 1 through 4. It's all like our Excel skills. So that's really what the part of the exam is going to look like, right? Excel exam and Canvas exam, right? So Canvas, this is going to be a conceptual part to the test. It's going to be open all day on Thursday from midnight on Thursday to 11:59 Thursday, and you can take it at any point. 20 questions, and so those questions are going to be multiple choice, true, false, select all that apply, that sort of thing. There will be some matching perhaps too. 1 point per question, and you have 40 minutes to complete that. Generally, that's enough time for students. So it's kind of already about double time, but certainly for those of you that need extra time, I will make sure that you have that extra time per your accommodations. But this part of the test is on conceptual knowledge, right? So you need to not only understand how to do this stuff, but why are you doing this, right? So for example, why for this given variable, why do you choose a pie chart? Or why should you use a histogram, right? So thinking about that sort of stuff, or approaching that exam with that framework would be very helpful. The other part of the exam is Excel, and so 2 or 3, probably 3 multi-part questions similar to the activities that we've been doing, working on your practical knowledge, right? And so there could be a 4-step method, right? And so this week we will see one of those pop up in our work. So make sure to look at feedback, right? And we will make sure to get you feedback prior to the exam. And then in terms of this part of the exam, it will be still open for a bit of time. So you get 12 hours to work on this instead of 24. And so you can use any static, non-intelligent, non-living resource. So no AI, right? You can consult your notes. You can consult the videos. You can Google, you know, if you need to. It's not going to help you. I will tell you that already. But you cannot use AI or any other person to help complete this exam, okay? And then you're welcome to email me, but just don't use the discussion boards, okay? And then if you're like, well, okay, I still need some help on how to prepare, there's a link here to a folder, and hopefully this one works. Yep, this one works. So then there's a concept review document that could be helpful for you. That's going to maybe help you prepare for the Canvas part of the exam a little bit more. And then I do have like an old take-home exam that's blank, and then solutions that you can take a look at. Okay, so you're welcome to use those files in your review and preparation. But get started on preparing for that exam. Okay. Some other comments here. As I was going through the syllabus quiz, there was a question about Just Ask hours. I do have Just Ask hours, even in the summer. Because of my other summer activities, I have to do them in the evening. And so if you Google, and just for frame of reference too, if you're coming in outside of UMR, Just Ask hours is the way that UMR says office hours. So if you were to Google Just Ask and then math UMR, I am a math faculty by nature, and so I list all my Just Ask hours under that section. But so Google Just Ask UMR, and then if you scroll down and expand the math section, eventually a calendar will load, and it takes a moment for it to load. And then you can scroll down and minor in the evening on Mondays and Wednesdays, typically. And I'm going to try and keep that pattern all summer. If it changes, I will try to change it a week in advance, just so you're aware. Okay? So feel free to hop on. I am doing them by Zoom, so you just have to click on the Zoom link there. Other announcements, discussion boards. Last week, and this kind of leads to my last comment. Last week was a little chaotic, and I wasn't able to check discussion boards as regularly as I had hoped. My goal is to check them every day, Monday through Friday. Okay, and so I will make better on that promise this week. Okay, if you have a burning question and you're not seeing me reply to the discussion board comment, feel free to email me. Okay. I'm glued to my email much more regularly than the Canvas discussion boards, but I will do a better job of reviewing those discussion boards. Okay, content for the rest of the course, I'll push all that out by early next week. In fact, week 3 is up now if you like to work ahead. I know some of you have already submitted stuff for the entirety of week 2. Great job, you. Okay, and then the last few things, just some general comments on Module 0 that I think will help you with the rest of the course. Details in statistics matter a lot. Okay, without the right details, your information can be construed very differently. Okay, so even though it is going to be more writing, you need to capture all the relevant details. Okay, if you use any notation kind of along those same lines, right? I have, like, in this example, you say P is equal to 0.02 or 0.2. What is P? You need to define things. You need to say what things are. Okay. And then the activities, as I was looking through those, number 3 was the one where you had to identify the different tests. And I got a lot of variety in answers there. Okay, and I get it, we're learning, this is all new, and that's actually the trickiest part of statistics, is figuring out what you need to do when. And so to that end, might want to just review the solutions for all that in that solutions for students folder, right? Just to see what the intended answer was. Okay. And my final comment here is summer lives are busy, and many of you have been in communication with me like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Great. Go have fun too. Make sure to not forget about this course. But if you have any conflict with a regular date, please let me know sooner rather than later. The one tricky thing is I do stick to U of M policy on excused absences. And so I try and navigate each situation as best as I can with policy. Some of my answers might be no. Sometimes, though, depending on the circumstance, I might be able to allow you an extension here and there. So feel free to share what's going on, and I'll do my best to help you. Okay. So those are my announcements for now. This is our kickoff video for the week. Tomorrow you'll get another video from me with solutions to the video assignments. All right. Thank you all for your hard work so far, and let me know if you have any questions, and let me know how I can help. Take care.